Hello, it's another episode in our weekly quick connect that we have together. I'm talking about failure this week. You're going to fail. You really are going to fail in this new reality. And this is something that Tracy and myself were talking about just last week, and we were reflecting on how if we go back into our careers in terms of when we started virtual work, Tracy started in late 2015 when we started this company together. I've been doing virtual work and a combination of blended work since the very beginning of my career, which is 2 decades ago. And one of the big things that we just realized is how many times we've actually failed, where we started out, we assumed something would work very well. We brought it into the organization and it failed horribly. It just didn't work the way we anticipated it, expected it to, or wanted it to. And then there's been other things that we've sort of offhandedly tried and not really put a lot of energy or effort behind, but just tried it and it succeeded enormously. And it's actually been something that we've carried through with us all the way through, and we still have it today in the organization. And so what I really have learned from this journey of being in virtual work is that it truly is a matter of iterating. And I go back to my days of being a downhill mountain biker, which are now long gone and in a different life. I find being a mom that I don't want to gravely endanger my life anymore like I used to want to. But one of the main things that I very quickly learned as a downhill mountain biker was I needed to learn how to fall. And until I learned how to fall well, I was never truly able to excel in the actual skill of mountain biking. And so there was a point in the very early days of my mountain biking where I used to go out on the trails every single Saturday, every single Sunday, and all I would do was push myself to the point where I wasn't able to recover and ended up falling. And I just practiced falling over and over again. And I came off of those rides battered, like bruised, like huge bruises, scrapes, all of those type of things. But I can distinctly remember after about 6 months of intensely practicing falling, I moved into a phase just naturally where I became a much more sophisticated and skilled at a technical level as a rider, because I'd learned the limitations of my own body and how my body interacted with the bike, and then naturally the terrain. So whether it was routes that I was dealing with, uphill climbs on gravel, loose gravel, all of those differing terrains, because I'd practiced falling so many times and because I'd pushed my own limits, I was able to really progress forward at a technical level. And ultimately that lesson applies in business as well. It's very much about just trying, pushing your limits and then recovering. And I think being willing to have that open dialogue with the team and say, hey, this is new for all of us. We're going to experiment. And we're going to be very honest about what's working and not working is a way to invite the team in and actually make them part of that experiment, where it doesn't feel like a top-down management coming down on them. Yes to learning, yes to falling, and yes to going forward.